Found footage films have become abundant over the years. Now, it's become a bit of a clusterfuck nowadays, for many reasons. A couple being, one, it's the easiest and most cost-effective way to make a couple million in the box office, and two, it's all about the trend. Now, there are a couple of great found footage horror movies out there like The Blair Witch Project, The First Paranormal Activity, As Above, So Below, and the VHS series, just to name a few. Now, I am not an avid horror movie watcher by any means, but I do enjoy the thrill they give me, like when I'm sitting in a dark room with the curtains closed and the only light is coming from an old box Panasonic TV. The cold sense of dread knowing that something's gonna happen and you just don't know when. That right there is where my love of horror movie comes from. The thrill. So recently I just watched VHS for like the 10th time and I sort of kinda have a love-hate relationship with the film. Because I feel like it needs more, but what it has was good enough, if that makes sense. But we'll get deeper into that later on in the video.
You better wrap it up!
The film is about a group of dickheads who go on menacing tirades throughout the town and record their every venture and sell the footage to sick buyers. Or I should say sick bastards, just to be clear. And these fuckers are into vandalism, harassment, sexual harassment, and robbery. These dudes are then contacted by an unknown man who requests of their little services and wants them to break into a house and steal a VHS tape. Upon arrival, they discover a man dead on a recliner facing a stack of TVs just turned on with nothing but static. So the guys separate inside the house to go look for this quote-unquote tape, and one dude stays behind as a watch guard. But like most of us, curiosity kicks in, and this guy decides to put one VHS tape into the VCR. And this, as soon as you find out, will become a huge mistake.
He just smiled and said, "I'm wearing Levi's."
Me screwball now.
Each story/recording has a theme of sorts. Themes like murder, the paranormal, mystery, outer dimensional beings, that kind of stuff. They all have a unique story to tell without sounding like something that's been regurgitated before. But then again, something is always based on something else, right? Well, anyway. Without getting into too much detail on each story, I'm gonna briefly go through each one just to not extend the length of this video to like 20 minutes.
Okay.
So the first story is about a group of friends going out to the club trying to pick up chicks, when they actually get lucky and take a couple of them back to the hotel. Unfortunately though, one of them shows up passed out drunk, so one of those dudes is shit out of luck.
That's too damn bad!
And two, one of them is a fucking succubus. And when I say she had herself a nice meal, I mean she had a couple of fucking manwiches. Pickles on the side. This story does go from 0 to 100 real quick though, and it's probably one of my favorite stories out of the VHS series. The second story follows a couple on vacation, enjoying the desert scenery and having sweet little conversations like,
"Did you take money out of my wallet?"
The couple does kind of run into a problem though, when someone is sneaking into their hotel room in the middle of the night and recording them. This person also does crazy shit like steal money from the guy, get his toothbrush, cleans the toilet with it, and pulls out a blade and freaking rubs the girl's leg with it. What kind of sick crazy shit is this?
Stop it. Get some help.
Eventually though, the guy does get killed, and it turns out that the killer, the person who's been sneaking in, is his chick's side chick.
Love, it's a motherfucker, huh?
So story 3 follows yet another set of friends heading out into a forest to hang out and smoke a little chiba chiba. But really, they're just lured out there just to be bait. And that's all I got.
Oh my god! Wow!
Moving on, story 4 is about another couple, but this time they're talking over Skype. It seems innocent enough. They're talking about their days. The girl decides to go topless, normal shit.
Little nasty!
But she does start to freak out eventually because she says that she can see ghosts, kids with black eyes or black-eyed kids. I don't know what they're called. These things right here. And in the end, it turns out that the guy is a part of it in some way, and he hired those ghosts, or he works with those ghosts, and he harvests their organs. I don't get it. It just, I have no words. I have no idea what the fuck this story is trying to say.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So the fifth and final story has to do with yet another group of friends. Yeah, I know it's a reoccurring thing, but bear with me. So these group of guys get invited to some Halloween party, and I guess they got the wrong address, and they show up in a house where they're doing some sort of ritual, or I don't know, witch burning or something like that. They hear a scream upstairs, they run up, they go and save the girl, and eventually make it out of the house. But before they do, the house just starts freaking out. The windows and mirrors start shrinking, plates and chairs are just flying all over the damn place. But eventually they do make it to their car and decide to take this chick to the hospital. But little do they know that they just rescued the enemy, which puts them in a compromising position, which sets them right in front of some train tracks, and then, boom.
Honey and sugar make it different and wonderful.
Catch the wave, Coke.
So I know I kind of blew past these stories, but I wanted to give y'all a chance to check it out and also not to make this video so lengthy. In my opinion, VHS is way better after a few viewings. Because like I had mentioned before, and I just finally realized, what was really missing in each story was a point. I get it, the horror lies in the mystery of what if, but sometimes that isn't enough. I like the build-up, and in between the discovery and conclusion, context would be a great idea as opposed to just blood, kill, tits, jump scares, you know, that kind of thing. Like the story of the Skype couple, for example. It was a lot of talking and build-up for a very flat conclusion. And then with the story of the Forest Friends, a terrible build-up, but a good to decent conclusion. Which I might add, would be a great solo horror movie. I mean, think about it. I mean, it's like a slasher film where the killer lives in between dimensions. I mean, that's awesome. But I digress. I do give VHS some slack though, because it's an anthology film, and most anthology films I've seen do lack in writing sometimes. You have your good and your bad stories, and VHS definitely has its share of both. Visually, VHS is awesome. I just love that 90s aesthetic. It's a huge plus for me, and in my opinion was filmed the way a found footage film is supposed to be filmed. The acting was good, nothing really Oscar worthy, but the fear that some of these actors showed in those moments really did resonate with me. Overall, I think VHS holds its own as a unique specimen. It's also a unique horror experience by using an old idea of like an anthology film and kind of adding their own sauce to it. And even though the stories fell flat at times, they do have an important quality: entertainment. Just like Joe Bob Briggs said, it's not so much about whether the horror movie is scary, it's more so whether it's entertaining. So in the end, I give VHS about a 7 out of 10. That's about a B+, I guess. But if you haven't yet, please go check it out. I recommend it. So thank y'all very much once again, and I'll see you on the next one, alright? Have a good freaking night.